Well, Governor-elect Bob Ferguson is making some news even before he takes office. He's proposing across-the-board cuts in state services instead of new taxes. It's a completely different approach than current Governor Jay Inslee proposes. Our Olympia Bureau Chief Drew Mickelson, the only Capitol-based TV reporter in our state, found out that new taxes could still be in the plan.
Last month, outgoing Governor Jay Inslee proposed a new tax on the state's wealthiest residents. But today, Governor-elect Bob Ferguson said he was skeptical that would work. Instead, he wants state agencies to first look at areas that could be cut.
Email 3702, she's right.
Washington state agencies handle everything from fish hatcheries to prisons and parks, providing services of all kinds and jobs to thousands of state workers.
Budget priorities.
Incoming Governor-elect Bob Ferguson wants to find savings in those services. To help fill a potential $12 billion budget gap over the next 4 years, Ferguson is asking state agency heads to come up with cuts of 6%, 3% for higher education institutions. The only exceptions, K-12 and public safety programs and agencies. Ferguson says new taxes need to be the last resort. Would college tuition rise? How many state employees would be laid off? Ferguson says he doesn't know yet.
I recognize that's not going to be easy for agencies, but we can all be more efficient and more streamlined, and that's the type of approach we need to make before we even start having a conversation about any kind of taxes.
We can solve this with some responsibility and priorities of government and making sure that we don't spend more than we're projecting to take in revenue.
Republican Representative Travis Couture likes what the incoming governor is proposing. But Democrats in the House and Senate say for the state to continue to serve its residents, fully fund education, provide clear culverts for salmon, and build and maintain roads, taxes may be inevitable this year.
We will have to do those hard looks at the budget and be values-based as we do that and priorities-based. But in the end, it is very hard for me to imagine that we won't end up needing to look at some sorts of revenue.
Democratic Representative Jake Fye said he may propose a gas tax increase to help pay for some of the state's road projects. A new Cascade PBS Elway poll released today suggested that 2/3 of Washington voters would prefer budget cuts to tax increases to balance the budget. In Olympia, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.
Next week, Bob Ferguson will be sworn in as our state's next governor. A ceremony will take place at noon Wednesday, January 15th.